Hello, good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing good. Just a quick update in case maybe I keep this for later. The painting I'm doing right now. So I was showing you last time. This one was all blue background. So I did a painting like this one with the diamond and the wings last year, with the beautiful Mediterranean Sea and colors and stuff. So it's the same kind, but I didn't want to redo the same painting, I was like, it's been done, I don't want to do exactly the same, I want to bring a little variation. So this one is landing, I don't know if it's landing or taking off. I wanted to paint ground, so you can tell, see, it's interesting, you see all the dots are covered up. So last night I was like, I want to paint land. So I started painting the green dots over, but because the background is blue, it wasn't looking like land. It was looking like soak land, flood. I was like, okay, we're not ready for flood in Florida yet. So I covered it up. If you want to do a land, you need to have a background that it's a land color, either brown or green or gray, whatever, but not blue. Okay, you see, for example, look at the, can you see? Yeah, you see the symbol in the middle? You see this is a blue background and with the green dots on top. So you see it's beautiful, transparent, but it doesn't look like a land, right? So unfortunately, all my work from last night, I had to cover up with a green. I'm probably gonna do another layer, a darker one, so better dark in the background. So when you put the dots of brighter green on top, they will really be highlighted. Okay, if I put this neutral, it's a beautiful green, but it's neutral. So the colors I'm gonna put are gonna have either to be a lot lighter or a lot darker. And then it's going to be a lot of contrast. It's not going to look harmonious. So the best is to go with a darker green. That will, like when you're looking at a Monet painting or Impressionism, if you try to paint, we always try to paint like the bright colors first. You're like, oh, I'm painting a leaf. Okay, I'm going to go with this beautiful green leaf. But when you actually look at the painting, there is a lot of black and dark behind. Because then the colors that you put on top are going to be highlighted. So this is what I'm going to do. Then restart the green as well. Yay. Okay, I'm actually going to go for lighter. I'm going to take the sage. Because if I put, I was going to go with this one, a little darker, but it's going to be too dark. So I'm going to go with the sage, and then I'm going to go with those a little darker colors, green, brighter greens over. Right, so while I'm doing this, I'm gonna share a little bit. I was just watching this morning Dean's video on YouTube, and he was sharing about saying take people on the journey with you, so you don't just show, which is sometimes, when everything goes well, you're like, oh, I'm going to show you the journey and stuff like that, how I do it. But when things don't go that well, you kind of want to hide in your little bubble. And then you're like, okay, then, for example, this new collection that I'm making right now, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to not show anything. And I'm going to show it when it's done. When it's over, right? Which is kind of right. I'm not making a new mastermind for those series because I'm focusing on my book right now, even though I'm not, I haven't been writing a lot. I've been redoing my website. Sorry guys, I'm painting at the same time. But I'm really listening, by reposting all these videos on my Facebook and really listening to them, it gives me, reminds me what to write on the book. The most important step that I said, I take the idea, condense, summarize, whatever, because sometimes I speak for an hour when there is actually just maybe 2, 3, 4 passages that are very most essential. So to put them in the book. But I was like, I'm still gonna show, you know, for example, when you're painting like that and you're like, oh, I messed it up. There is always a way, and you know, sometimes it takes more time. Yeah, I have to redo it. You know how many paintings I do, and I have to cover up, redo. It's very rare that I paint something and right away I'm completely, boom, in one shot I do the painting. I don't have to change anything. And I think it's the same in life. Every time I have a project, it never works. I'm like, oh, I had the idea, I thought it was gonna roll, but then it doesn't, and then I have to try again and do another way and stuff. That's how it is. But then in the end, practice makes perfect, right? So I wanted to continue sharing about my financial journey. I made this first video, financial survival, a few months ago. So I was explaining how we refinanced our mortgage and stuff. But what happened? So, you know, I've been living for, and so of course I hate to talk about that. I'm not super proud to say that I'm super broke, but many people can be in this situation. And you know, when I think about it, like, that really spoke to me, the video that Dean shared this morning, when he was like, oh, you know, the guy, despite all of his problems, he still chose to stay with his family and see how he's helping people and stuff. And I'm like, I feel like this is really also what I chose, you know, when I decided to get divorced. I could have stayed, you know, in this situation and say, okay, I'm gonna let, you know, not being super happy, not being, you know, let someone treat me badly or whatever because they're in a position, you know, of financial better position, you know, that I have to I'm depending on someone, so I'm just gonna stay in this situation. Honestly, that would have been easier to just shut my mouth, you know, let things be, and, you know, stay in this not happy situation just because it was comfortable. I had everything, the comfortable life, you know. And then I decided that no, you know, we both deserved, because it's not, you know, we both took different road. He started being interested by other stuff. I started being interested by other stuff, and we just didn't align anymore, you know. So we both deserve to look for more happiness in our life. And but I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be broke. I don't have a job. I've tried to find jobs. I've applied. I don't apply to jobs I don't like. There's no way. There is no way. Like, if I apply to a job, it's gotta be something that's gonna motivate me, that's gonna passionate me, that I want to go every day, you know. And if I have to put my son to extended hours, if I have to wake up at 6 or 5 o'clock every morning to be on time, and it's gotta have a good paycheck as well, you know. I mean, all the criterias, and it's rare to find a job with all the criterias when you're working for a company, because what job is gonna say, oh yeah, you can, that's fine, I'm just gonna show up at 10 o'clock in the morning after I pick up my son in school, and then I'm gonna leave at 2:30, okay, because then I have to pick him up, or at 4:30 if it's going to extended day. You know, yeah, it's very rare to find that. And I was like, so if I do, it's gonna be something that really, really motivates me. But in the end, I never found a job, and I kept doing my art, and I was like, is it really worth it? I've been working, can you imagine? I've been working without a paycheck since I moved into the US. I've been without a paycheck since I moved into the United States. I've always been independent. As soon as I left my jobs to follow his career in the Navy, and I became a mom. So of course, at first, the first year or two, I wasn't looking for a job when Esteban was a baby, but still I had this pressure starting, like, oh, you're not gonna work and stuff. Since 2015, 7 years without a paycheck. Can you imagine? So I was completely depending on my husband. And now that we got divorced, I'm on my own, and so I haven't had, of course, his support, child support, but I haven't had a paycheck for, you know, all these years. And for a year now, I've been completely on my own. And few months now completely have to pay all my bills, all my everything, all my expenses on my own without a paycheck. Okay, so how do you do it? If you really want to keep doing, I think about it every day, and even like to the point that I don't even like what I'm doing anymore. I'm like, why? It's really the dilemma, because yesterday I was thinking, I was like, man, I don't even like to do these paintings anymore. I don't even like to do these workshops. I like it, but I don't, because I was like, I don't see a result. I see my financial situation getting worse and worse and worse, and I just feel like this passion and they wanted to commit to do this, and yes, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. This has just been drowning me so bad that I feel like I'm almost rejecting it. I'm like, man, I wish I never started. I wish I never started, because this was the beginning of me trying to get into this thing and sinking into this debt. And then I'm like, but now I'm too far in. I can't give up now. I'm too far in. I have all my beautiful collections of painting. I have amazing masterminds all this series of videos. While I was redoing my website yesterday, I actually could see all the work, because I had some stuff on Mastermind. I have stuff on the Redbubble store for the home decor collections, here and there. But I had my books also in my Mastermind, so it wasn't really obvious. And when I redid my website yesterday, I was like, wow, I actually did a lot. I have a whole section with all of my books. When I travel, I always buy jewelry that now you can buy from my website from all around the world, not just all the jewelry or the crystals that I found are all unique. If not, I don't buy them. All my books, all my masterminds, bunch of series, the book, the team building the team building training I'm writing right now. And still I want to offer those art workshops, because the thing is, like, I'm so far in, I've accumulated so much work that now I can just give up without giving it to people, it'd be like all this knowledge, all this stuff, and not sharing. Okay, I learned all this for me, and for what? So nobody else can know about it. So I'm in between, man, I wish I never even started. And now I'm too far in to give up. I bought all supplies. I have supplies here to do workshops for a whole year. I have paintings. I have a whole collection of paintings that I can fill an entire gallery. This is my home gallery. I have made this house look like a museum. So when I have workshops and people come here, I can tell them about all these artifacts, and they can buy some if they want to, and stuff. So I'm in between, and so what happened is that last week, all my credit cards are maxed out. So I reached the point that I don't have income. I can't pay my credit cards. I don't want to use my child support. It's for Esteban's food. I'm going to make sure my son always has food, right? I don't have money to pay my credit cards, all my bills. Credit cards are maxed out, so soon I'm not even going to be able to pay that. And so what do I do? What do I do? What do you do when you want to work on your passion and you don't have a job, you don't have someone who supports you, and you're stuck? So I called this program National Debt Relief, right? So they're going to buy off my debt. They're going to buy off all my credit cards, but now I have to pay them for it, so it's going to be a little bit less than what I actually owe, $35,000. But I still have to pay them. So I'm making the video for people who, either someone who is in a marriage and they're not happy in their marriage and they're like, man, it's much more comfortable. I know people who just stay in a marriage because it's just more comfortable. She's like, oh, I'm not happy, but we can't afford. I was like, yeah, I can't afford either, but it's your life, what. So anyways, or for people who want to do their business and they don't have any support, you know, so it takes a long time. I was lucky. I've been able to do this for 2 years before things go crazy. So this is the next step, right? Once you've refinanced your mortgage, you've maxed out your credit card, you've done everything wrong. It failed as many times as you could. My business is, you know, I was like, the next step is bankruptcy, but I don't want to put my house on the line or had them to come and take my crystals, you know. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so this is the new option you can do, you know, national debt relief. You stop paying your credit card, and then they negotiate with your bank. They're going to buy off your credit cards for half. So they negotiate. So this is interesting. They negotiate your debt to half. Okay, so they pay half to your bank. They cancel your date. They take back all your credit cards. So you have to change bank and stuff. You get kicked out of the bank and all. And then, of course, they take a commission. They take a commission that you pay to them. So instead of $35,000, I'm going to owe now $25,000, which is still, you know, they're saving me $10,000. But now it means that I need to have an income every month. I need to have at least, you know, this $600 to pay to them every month. Plus, now I don't have credit cards to pay my bills. So this is the journey, right? I was saying, share about your journey, what it takes. But so this is why I also started to do new workshops. I was like, I'm going to do workshops for every people, every budget. I'm still trying to do stuff online. I'm still trying to do stuff for children. The same thing that I've been doing, but at every scale, doing big workshops for businesses. All right. And the next step is I run away. I take a plane ticket. I run away with my son and my cats, and you guys never hear about me again. So that's the next step. Or I make it. Right? So yeah, but there is option. So two thoughts about that. So there are options for people who struggle before it gets catastrophic. There is an option and an option and an option and an option, you know. So this is appreciated. And then something that was interesting is that how funny is it that the banks who charge you crazy interest in your bank account every month, all of a sudden they're able to just boom, put your debt down to 50% and sell it to someone. They're just numbers on a screen. That's disgusting. It's just numbers. So don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, Navy Federal. I'm grateful to my credit card, because without my credit cards, I wouldn't have been able to live for all these years. I've been living on credit cards. My credit cards saved my life. Everybody's like, oh, you're crazy to have all these credit cards. Yeah, my credit cards saved my life, okay? Thanks to my credit cards, I've been able to still take my son on holidays. I've been still able to travel and go to events or follow trainings I've been interested in. Okay, so I'm not criticizing. What I'm thinking is very crazy is, what is the real value of money? Because all of a sudden, boom, your debt is cut off in half. So why is money keeping us so tight when they're just a number? All it would take is to call the bank and say, hey, can you just cut half of my debt for right now, you know? But no, you have to go through lawyers, blah, 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 you know. This is just the system to keep you stuck in it. So that's crazy. And you know what I was thinking of yesterday, actually, when I was staring at the sky? If we wanted the world to be really equal, money should not even exist. We should all have the same salary. We should all, if money would still exist, everybody in the world or in a certain country, we should make the sum of all the money there is in the world divided by all the money of the people, or in the country, separate that and give that money to everybody, and everybody has the same paycheck, everybody has the same benefits, income, everybody has the same healthcare, everybody has the same rights, everything. Okay? Because you know what? Money doesn't change a person. It doesn't matter if you're broke or if you're rich. If you have a calling to do something, you're going to do just that. If you have a calling to help people or to help others and to give them food, or to train people to do painting or to do marketing, if this is your passion, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you're still going to do it. And if you're a person who's, you know, I'm not going to say lazy, but you have to be in contact with nature. You're here to teach the world how to be in the present moment, how to meditate and to do yoga. Yoga is your passion. Then you're still going to be doing that. Because the money, for me, grinding and money is not what makes you able to do your stuff. If you're passionate about something, it's going to be there. Whether you're broke or whether you're super rich, you're still going to be doing it, except that you're going to do it without the stress. You see, I'm not doing much more now that I'm completely broke that I would do if I was rich. I would still be writing the book. I would still be preparing the team building trainings. I would still do stuff for kids and for people and for businesses. I would still paint, but I wouldn't do it in a stress, you know? So a little reflection also about the society, and if then there is I don't know, because then, you know, I'm trying to think about that. I'm like, yeah, okay, but when I see, for example, Dean and Tony Robbins, I'm like, if they didn't have their millions, how would they build a multi-million-dollar studio with screens and be able to, feeding America wouldn't exist. Everybody would have the food. Everybody would have, a home and a roof and stuff like that. But how would we be able to give to certain people who have a calling, a mass calling, right, to have all these means? Then it would have to be contribution. But if nobody is struggling financially, I would tell you, if nobody's struggling financially and I'm like, hey guys, tomorrow I want to open up a giant gallery art studio there in Arlington because there is nothing in the city, are you gonna give it to me if you're not struggling financially? And I'm like, just if everybody here who's watching this, I have 1,000 followers on my Facebook. If everybody's watching this, give me $100 or I don't know, $1,000, whatever. If everybody has the money, everybody would give. Me, when I can, I give to every time. This is why I'm broke also, because every time I see, hey, donate to this, donate to these kids there, oh, donate to this cause and stuff, I'm like, oh my God, I have to. You know, if everybody does it, then it's gonna work for them. And so solidarity, yeah, contribution, this is how it would work, honestly, to raise the money. But yeah, just a thought, you know, about money and how stressful for me. Yeah, I'm so happy that my son will have a house, you know, because he will be able to do what he loves and without struggling for his money, and he will be able to follow his passion. But anyways, yeah, well, look, what do you think? It's a little better, right? It's a little better. I'll show you the progress. Okay, have a great weekend, everybody.